Hello, I don't know what just happened. It just blanked out, and I can't join the previous live session again. So um, let's see if people join in here. Hello.
इकडे येत आहेत लोक.
Hello, all. I'll just wait a minute again since the previous live got disconnected. Yeah, there was some problem that the previous session just stopped by itself. But if it just happens again, I'll just come live again. So in case it happens again, I don't know what happened. Hello, 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 Aman, hello, Samin, hello, Krishna. Okay, so there were around 50 people, 27 people have joined. So just wait for a couple of seconds more.
Why did you choose Ayuka?
So there were around 50 people who had joined. Now we have around 30. Yeah, I think we can. I'll just continue what I was saying. If some people are missing, it will stay on the channel so people can see later on too. So what I was saying is that the bottom line is that entrance is a must, and we all have to go through it. So we have to do some things for specifically for entrance. So since it's the last month, what I would suggest is now you have already done the concepts that you could do till you had time. Now it is the time to focus on problem solving, because that is what is required finally to get you through the exam. And different exams have different patterns. So I'm just saying, let's just take the case of jam. People could be giving TFR just as well. So the important point right now is just focus on the concepts that you have already covered. If you think that there are some topics that you couldn't cover by now, and there are topics that are there in the syllabus but you have not touched on it, let it be. Just focus on the concepts that you have already done, and focus on them and start getting regular. So you need to gain momentum now. You need to get into the exam mode. You should not uh, uh, so basically, if you get in the mode, you basically have to be in the problem solving mode. So what you can do is now you can start solving previous year's question papers, or giving mock tests, or joining test series, or even you can try solving other question papers, because basically physics is the same. It doesn't matter which question paper you can. There are other options. You can take question papers from previous jam, just net, TIFR, or you can take uh, question papers of exams like JEE or even KVPY. So the concepts of physics that you are required are more or less the same. So what you need is problem solving uh, mode, I would say, because in life it is not necessary that you solve when you have a problem, you need to solve it in 5-10 minutes. But when it comes to entrance exam, you need to develop the skill of solving the problems within the given time frame. So that is very important. Second thing is, don't panic. It is fine. It is just an exam. There are a lot of options out there. Even if, let's keep this point for after exam. Right now, just focus, do the problems and find out the questions that you are not able to solve. The questions with concepts you know, but you are not able to solve the problems. So focus on those problems and try to understand, try to learn how to, what is the trick to get through the problem, because these are the concepts that will help you in clearing jam. One more thing I would say, that in the last 1 or 2 days, just before exam, don't get too panicky. Just relax. You don't even need to study or do any solving at that moment. You just need to keep your mind fresh at that time. So just relax those moments. And one more necessary thing, it is a very important thing that you get familiar with the interface of the exam. The exams are computer based, for example jam, so you have to get familiar with their specific interface, which is a very common and a good one. It is very user friendly, but you still, when you go to the exam, it should not be that you are looking at it for the first time. So just go to the jam website. They have their mock tests, so you can see the what is the paper pattern. Most of you might already know what it is. Just look at the paper pattern, and also get see what are the options. Like there are different options like mark for review, answer and mark for review, with skip, submit, etc. So just get familiar with that. And also one more important thing is, you have to use the virtual calculator that is provided by the exam itself. So try that calculator, do some calculations, because that could be a very tricky part and you can end up spending a lot of time on it. So these are some of the points that I would say are important for people who are appearing for jam right now. There were some questions. Let me see, just a minute, which people had posted on the post itself. So someone had a question about CGPA, because the college gives SGPA. So this is matter of the exam, the IITs who admit students. It's best to stay above 5.5 GPA, but technically speaking, whatever your college gives you as CGPA is the one that would be used. But it's best to confirm it with the college you are trying to join. Another question is, what are some research or summer opportunities during COVID-19? So, whenever we get some get to know about any particular event, we usually post it on the channel. For example, we had posted about the summer school at Ayuka. We had posted about the LIGO LIGO lectures. I had posted about the astronomy winter school, and also there was this Aries lecture series. So as and when we get to know, we post it. But the usually what people do is just keep a lookout on what are the available opportunities, go to different universities and colleges website and just check what is going on. um, mm. Did you give gate physics after MSc? So no, I did not appear for gate.
Research
uh,
oriented.
mm, Anything else? Job opportunities at ISRO after MSc. So yeah, there are a lot of job opportunities applicable to MSc also. Usually what happens is, ISRO posts a circular or notice regarding recruitment. So there have, okay. So if there are any positions which are and there are eligibility requirements, so usually there are few posts which correspond to MSc physics, so you can apply through that. And moreover, if you want to go to ISRO, I'm assuming you mean you need to go to proper, exactly ISRO for like making rockets or and things like that, because ISRO is an organization which sends satellites to space. But if you want to work on satellites, there are many institutes which work on satellites. For example, Astrosat, my sister Parisi was studying the data of a neutron star, and which was collected by Astrosat, which was uh, built by institutes like TIFR, PRL, IUCA, and so on. So, for example, we have a professor at IIT Bombay, Professor Varun Bhalerao in physics department. Right now, he's making twin satellites called Daksh. So they are building it in IIT. So if you, but it will be launched by ISRO. So if you're working, so even if, so if you want to work on satellites or you're interested in the science behind it, there are many institutes which work on it. So basically, it goes through ISRO. You're always in contact with ISRO for that matter. But if you are specifically interested in sending rockets and doing the engineering part, then they give out, uh,
Your vacancies.
yeah, their circulars regarding vacancies. Um, so
Vijay, what are
yeah, so
solutions?
let me take some questions from the side. Hello, everyone. Many of you have congratulated. Um, mm, um, so there's this one question which many people are asking: why did I not go abroad for a PhD? So I have given this reason in one of the Q&A interaction session which was organized by Science Club at Ferguson, and I had uploaded the video on it. So in that I explain what my thought process is. But in general, in short, if I want to tell you, so I have chosen the field of astronomy. During MSc, I realized that there are broadly two areas that I found interesting. Those are particle physics, high energy physics, basically, and astronomy, astrophysics. So right now I've chosen astrophysics, and I have joined IUCA, which is a very good place. I have seen a lot of research institutes in India, and IUCA is one of the best that I have seen so far, infrastructure-wise, as well as their science-wise. The number of collaborations they have, the level of faculty that they have, and the research facilities that they have. IUCA is basically on par with most of the international level institutes. I have been to ANU also, Australian University. So, and for an example of how collaborations are, I had been to Australian National University through IUCA itself. So it was because IUCA and ANU are in collaboration for research. I had been to ANU for a short term over the summer to work on the research project and came back. So it's not that if you're working here, you lose out on going abroad, or you cannot work on things that other people in the other parts of the world are working. Um, and especially at IUCA, there are a lot of international collaborations. And uh, for example, just I can tell you some people. For example, I had given like posted about a month back when the Nobel laureates were announced. Like Roger Penrose, the Nobel laureate, has been to IUCA. Uh, the another Nobel laureate, Andrea Ghez, she was almost about to come to IUCA, but this she couldn't, and then this pandemic situation set in, so she wasn't able to visit IUCA. Then there was recently a talk by Bernard Schutz, which many of you might know. So one of the top scientists, Martin Rees, who was president of Royal Astronomical Society, just recently gave a talk at IUCA. Then the top solar physicist in at UK, her name
Cambridge.
is she's in Cambridge. Her name is Helen Mason. She, I've seen her a lot of times at IUCA for collaborations and so on. So you don't really, even if you're here, you don't really feel that you are missing. It's always in connection with, it is always connected with the other parts of the world. And for PhD, what is the main thing is that is necessary in PhD is the guide and the research facilities. So your guide should be good. The administration that you're working in, so the institution should be good enough fund wise and administration wise. And you need some basic research facilities which are all available at IUCA. So at the end of the day, it comes down to you, what you do, how you do in your PhD, what work you do. That is what matters. I've talked to many people also. They say that even while later on recruiting, it doesn't matter where you do your PhD from. It depends what quality of work you have done. So it's not a must that you have to do. So one thing is, in some areas, for example, condensed matter or whatever it happens that your research is heavily dependent on research facilities like laboratories and experiments. And because the funding is more some of the more developed countries, so it makes sense to go there. But when it comes to a field like astronomy, almost all the projects are in international collaboration. Hardly any country can afford to do astronomy research by its own. So most of the projects that people work on are in international collaboration. So it's just a matter where you sit here or there. So that is the reason why I've applied. In short, there are more reasons, but this is the main reason which uh, people like you all might be wanting to know what is necessary in PhD and so on. So this is broadly the reason. Um, so okay. Hmm. What would be the benefits of doing PhD was what is sorry, benefits of doing MSc, and how is MSc different? I have already made a video on this. How is MSc different for from integrated PhD? So you can look at that.
स्कॉलरशिपचा पण एक क्वेश्चन होता त्याला इन्स्पायरचं सांगू शकतो.
Mm. Can you tell me about your scholarship or any earnings? So, uh, so right from BSc Physics, so there is this program called Inspire, DST Inspire. We had already made a video on the channel about DST Inspire. So I was an Inspire scholar throughout my BSc and MSc. So they give you scholarship for pursuing pure sciences, and physics comes under that. So that was a scholar. So I was a DST Inspired scholar during my BSc and MSc, and now I'm a research scholar. I'm a PhD student, so everyone gets a stipend. So it's a standard fellowship called GRF, Junior Research Fellowship, and then it upgrades to Senior Research Fellowship. So every PhD student gets that in India. So yeah, those are the scholarships that I'm getting. Uh, how to go on for professorship after MSc from IIT. For professor, it's a fairly standard path. Professorship is a position in academia, so you need to get into the two components to it: research and teaching. So it's always good to be good in communication. So eventually, you should think about PhD, doing research. Usually, people go on to do a couple of postdocs, which comes after PhDs, which you can do at different institutes, and then you can apply for jobs for professorship. And it depends upon the quality of research that you are doing. Uh, that's
And which institute you want to join?
and which institute you want to join. So, um, so 15 minutes. So I thought I would do it for a short time, around half an hour, this live session. But since we started a bit late and got disconnected, I'll continue till 12:45. So let's see how much we can cover. Um, how different is pursuing MSc Physics from IITs and central universities like JNU, DU? The best way to check is the syllabus of different institutes while comparing. I would say it doesn't, again, as I said, for PhD, it doesn't matter where you are. What matters is what you do with the resources you have. So it doesn't matter which university, it's finally up to you. It's whichever place you go, you will get some good teachers, you'll get some not so good teachers. Finally, you have to do your own self study. So it's best to just stay updated with what is uh, the benchmark of MSc. Like you can go through the IIT syllabus, which is considered good, and make sure that you wherever you are, st- you're getting to study those concepts, even if they are not being taught. Eventually, you have to do it on your own. And anyway, even at IIT, finally, what people have to do is study on their own after limit. The only difference is you get other facilities and the uh, uh, tag of IIT and good facilities like labs, books, and so on, and the other benefits like campus and uh, uh, good colleagues for discussion and so on. So it doesn't matter. Uh, just stay true with physics. That's all I would say. Um, how to choose project topic for TYBAC? Just go with, in project selection. There are two parts. First is it should not be something that you absolutely hate. So because that it doesn't have that much weightage. So best would that is most the most well. So that is one important thing. It's so that's mm I didn't take coaching events. So it's then you. Hello, can anyone comment below if they are able to hear me or not, because it is reconnecting again and again. So I'm not sure if I'm audible or not.
मला तर आलं आता दिसतंय.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Uh, so you have taken drop. I don't know about the specific coaching class that you have joined. I had not joined any coaching class. I had studied all by my own. What matters is consistency and your concepts at the end of the day. Um, okay. I also see Dom Tesla Shira. He was my roommate at IIT Bombay. So even he has joined live here. Mhm. What do you like most about astronomy? I'm still exploring. There are a lot. So that is the reason why I got into astrophysics, because astrophysics in itself is a very huge field. So there are a lot of options to choose from. It's like a physics. You get a variety that you get in the physics field itself when you go into astrophysics. So right now we have coursework for 1 year, and I'm exploring and seeing what are the different areas and what do I find more interesting. Um, um, what are you aiming at PhD? It's the same thing. Right now, I'm doing the coursework, and let's see which project I join. So there was a question: what happens in a PhD? What exactly goes on? So I'll tell what is going on. So in the case of PhD at IUCA, so first year is complete introduction to different areas of astronomy. So um, uh, so I'm going through the coursework, and so from that I'll get to know which areas I find interesting. After that, there is a 6 to 7 months period where we have to do guide selection, which is one of the most important part. Where you have to find, like you have to choose which area you want to do it, and then uh, join with a guide who will be your guide for the next 3.5 to 4 years. He should be the one who you can connect with and vibe. So and after that you have to go and do the literature survey of what all has happened in that particular field now, what research people have done by then, and from that knowledge then you come up with a draft where you outline what are the new things that you can do above all these things, and that draft is called as a thesis proposal, and that you have to draft it and submit it, which will be basically the outline for your PhD work. And for the rest of the years, you start working on those things that you mentioned in thesis proposal one by one, with guidance of your supervisor. And you usually have regular meetings once or twice a week with the guide, and then you go for the rest of the week and continue doing with your work and try to get it completed. And the ultimate uh, thing that uh, is that it should eventually get completed with a publication. So there is the papers which people might have seen or read. So those are research publications. So whatever new thing you have done, you have to present it. You have to write it up properly, and you have to submit it to a journal or publish it in some way, so that it gets out to the masses, and that counts for the completion of your PhD. So, okay. Uh, I could not hear project answer properly. Can you repeat? So I assume I was getting disconnected at that time. So what I was basically saying is the project topic doesn't matter. It should not be something that you absolutely hate, but it's not a must that you should have decided what area you want to get into for research and work on that project itself. Just pick a topic which you find you like at that time. And the most important thing is it also depends on the guide. So pick a guide which with whom you have a good rapport, and you can talk to him, and he he can guide you well. And the research topic is compromisable because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. No one asks you why you did in this particular topic, and it's not expected also. So it's a good thing that the basic motivation of a project at third year of BSc is to get exposure to how research proceeds. So focus on that. Topic is not the main important thing. That's what I would say. uh, mm, University, should I continue here or crack? It's always good to try. If you can crack jam, you can give it a go. It's always good to have done your MSc from a reputed institute, or anything from a reputed institute. But even if you don't, it's not a big problem. As I would say, just keep a track of what people are learning in MSc Physics at IITs and other institutes, and make sure you are also covering those concepts so that you don't lag behind. Or it, it's what I'm trying to say is it is up to you. So you can define your own syllabus always. So even if you feel that the university is not that good enough, but you can also, even at IIT, people at the end of the day have to study on their own. So self study is very important. um, what was your project topic? In my BSc thesis, bachelor thesis, I had done in soft condensed matter, and it was related to breath figures, which was mostly fluid mechanics. So it had to do with the way water droplets evaporate on a volatile liquid surface. So it was more or less an experimental study. So we had a setup, and we had studied how it evaporates and captured videos and tried to explain them under different conditions, under different ambient conditions. It was a very interesting topic. I had also presented and published it as a poster in one of the conferences at Pune University, and it was a very good experience. Regarding project at IIT, as I had mentioned in one of the videos, I had not opted for a project at master thesis at IITB, and this is a specific option. It is an option specific to IIT Bombay. They give you an option to choose an elective instead of doing a project. So for the last 2 semesters, you have an option. Either you in the third and the fourth semester, you can either take a elective or project for the entire year or a particular semester, and I had taken electives. That was because I was looking at MSc as an opportunity to explore different areas, so that I would know which area I want to get into for PhD, which is the actual phase where you start doing your research. And so instead of, so I doing a project, I had taken different electives, and I had taken more subjects, even more than the required. So I had audited more courses than the required credits. So that way I got to explore different areas, and I had fun with that. And one question might come in that, did it affect not doing a project? So no. As most of you know, that I had appeared for PhD interviews at TIFR Mumbai, and I had gotten selected. They um, if I remember, they did not even mention about project. So maybe people who have written about the project in the application, they asked them about that. But to me, they didn't even ask. So they didn't require me to have completed a master's project. But yes, if you're applying abroad, the project becomes important, because your admission is not through entrance specifically. It is goes through application process. It's more subjective, and so you need to show. People usually do a project because they want to apply abroad, and that there the evaluators see what research you have previously undertaken, and In that case, it could be useful. But if you're planning to do here, it is mostly through entrance and interviews, so it's not a must. So I guess it's there are a lot of questions as I can see. Uh, but we are already it's 12:45, so I was not expecting such a great response, but there are a lot of people and I'm actually glad that people are asking, and I would also like to address them. But since had planned to do a short actually till 12:30, it's already 12:45. What we can do is probably I can try to schedule more of such interactions, since many people are interested and I have a lot more questions. So I think we'll stop for now. I hope you got something out of this and you will enjoy the live stream. I also got to know some of you what are you doing, and so if you like, if you people want, we can schedule more such interactions in the near future, so that we can address, because these are a lot of questions, and one person is trying to get attention by constantly commenting, Rohit, how many hours do you study? Because he just wants to know. So it's not a so it's not a constant, it depends. Usually I I stick to a regular schedule, so I don't study a lot and at 7 only during exams, but I study regularly almost every day. But I don't study, then I study for hour or two every day on my own, apart from the classes. And it depends. So sometimes we have assignments and you need to give the time that the assignment requires, and that time the time is not in your hand. But uh, if you talk about self study, I don't do a lot, but I do regularly. So that's the last question I would say, because Rohit has managed to grab my attention. So, but okay, thank you so much. Your inspiration. You're very much welcome, and this is very good to hear back. Um, then, thank you again, Somik. You're welcome. I hope you liked it. Uh, and yes, so thank you. We can, if I can see people are still posting, and I'm not going to answer more now because it's already out of time. But I'll surely think of scheduling one more such live session, or more of such. Maybe people want to interact regularly with the different problems throughout their science careers. So we can think about that. Maybe I'll even post about it and let me know what you think. So it was good to meet you all. This was the first live stream that I had done with the subscribers of Life Around Science, and it was good to see your comments too. Everyone, you are welcome. Many people are thanking. So welcome everyone, and even I enjoyed. So let's part for now. Till next time, uh, and a happy new year in person. So bye bye.